And we welcome you back into the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, and again, another week of Cyclone football. Unfortunately, it's the last week because we ran into a football team, the Mavericks, pretty good football team, 38-21 the final to end our season for 2017. But, Coach, a lot of positives we're going to talk about coming up here throughout the show. We're going to pay tribute to some, 14, 15 great kids who played their last football game at Elizabethton. But let's go back to Friday night. Young man, remember this name, Stanton Martin. He'll be playing somewhere on Saturday, and the quarterback for Anderson County, and pretty good football team ran into.
Well, they're 11-0 football team, and they're home. A lot of excitement. Definitely had the advantage with the home field there, and your quarterback got off to a great start. Pretty much picked us apart and did a good job of extending plays with his feet. I thought the whole environment and everything was great. It was a little cold Friday night, but we just didn't put our best foot forward. We had some opportunities to make some plays early, and we held in there, and we had an unfortunate turnover right before half to set up a field goal to get us down two scores, and that's some of the stuff we talked about. In playoffs, you can't get down two scores. And then they got the ball back coming back from the second half, and we're able to go up. So, our kids never quit. They fought all the way to the end, and we did a good job for the most part, but just wasn't enough.
I thought on Friday night, the Cyclone Nation, there was three sections of the stadium down there, and one section completely full with Cyclone fans. So our folks traveled well, even though it was cold.
Well, they did. We got a great moms and dads that come to support our team. It's just unfortunate we didn't play our best football game. All those the workouts and the practice time you put together and everything you got going. It comes down to a couple plays, and they just did a better job than we did.
Before we get into the highlights of the game, you've obviously played Greenville, you've played Anderson County. If you had to sit down and analyze that game, how do you think it'll come out Friday night?
Well, Mr. Stanton's pretty tough. The ability to extend plays, move around. Those types of players. Are half a dozen. You don't go against guys like that can run and throw. He did a pretty good job of just keeping us on our heels all night long. We're just kind of guessing on what they're going to do, and that becomes tough. Obviously Greenville, the dominance, the physicality, the toughness. I think that is obviously for four quarters you got to sustain a pretty physicality. But I tell you, Mr. Stanton, if he plays like he did against us Friday night, he'll definitely give Greenville a run for their money, and it should be an exciting game of two unbeatens, both number one teams in their regions.
Let's take a look at the highlights, and so here we go. Let's hit this and drop this down. We got to hit the buttons as we go, and let's pull this up, and let's bring on Anderson County, the highlights, and let's do that right here. I think I hit the right button, so yeah, there we go. And so here's the first one, a 17-yard pass from Carter to Evan Perkins.
Well, it's just a good job for Evan Perkins. It's a little fast screen and good blocking on the outside, and Evan Perkins does a good job of running after the catch.
Here's a great fumble recovery by Kilroy Hill. Set this up for us.
Well, this was a big play. They're getting ready to go in for the second quarter. We're getting ready to go down 14-0 and put a big hit. Our guys continue to play, and you never know what's going to happen. And they could easily lay down right here, but it was a big hit, and good job by Cujo fumble recovery and Kilroy knocking that football out.
Big play in the game again early and the Cyclones. You see the official designate the Cyclones get the football. Here's a 34-yard pass. Let's set this one up to Ryan Wetzel.
Well, this was a big play we needed. Obviously, we had a big holding penalty that put us behind the chains, and this is our bread and butter all year long, throwing this ball up into the wind and letting Ryan go make a play. It's an outstanding effort by Ryan here. Just go up and make a play. It was a big spurt for us, and we ended up marching down and getting our first touchdown.
First of three touchdowns for number 5 on Friday night. Corey Russell, still not 100%, but boy, he gave you everything, didn't he?
Well, he did, and he's a playoff caliber type football player. Here we are in a Wildcat type set and just muscling in there with Cujo in front of him and just walking in the end zone. But, he stepped up big for us Friday night, kind of been down like you said, and put 3 touchdowns on the board for us.
Here's a 12-yard pass you see on the screen. By the way, thanks to Huddle for the highlights. Here's a 12-yard pass to Ryan Wetzel.
Just another good play, to Ryan Wetzel right here. Just right before the half, just trying to get something going and get our lineman out in front of him, and it was a big game for him.
All right, Carter Everett comes back in, a 23-yard pass. This time he'll go right back to Ryan Wetzel.
Well, it's another fast screen. He's got a little soft coverage at the top. Good job executing this play. Guys going blocking for him. Ryan's just been spectacular at this play all year long of getting the first down and running extremely hard, breaking tackles. And I tell you what, a year he had is remarkable.
Well, you take a look at this kid, number 83, and obviously, Coach, you can't coach what he brings to the table. That's God given.
No, you can't. And he's worked at it extremely hard over 3 years, and it's remarkable to see him have he's just stepping up. The confidence he played with all year long, and I'll tell you, he broke a lot of school records at the receiver position this year, and he's definitely going to be missed.
Absolutely. Of course, again, another big night for him. We'll give you his numbers in just a second. Here's 25-yard pass again, right back to 83.
Well, it's another great play here, just a fade down the sideline to Ryan Wetzel, and I'll tell you, watch this catch and this throw. It's just the only chance for Ryan to catch this ball. He catches over his outside shoulder. What concentration to make that play there.
And credit Carter Everett, too. He dropped it right in there where
Well, he did. Just
get it.
Did a good job adjusting to the wind and the cold, and put it where Ryan can catch it and make a play.
Corey Russell again, number 5, his first touchdown, 2-yard plunge, and here we go again for a 1-yard touchdown run, his second of 3 tonight.
Well, it's just quarterback sneak. Good job by getting in. This is a relentless effort to him by just making sure we staying in. They didn't blow the his forward progress down, and they look at him right there, just fighting all the way in, and just getting that ball out.
Am I right? Cujo just kind of lifted him up, tried to shove him in. Is that
Well,
right?
you're supposed to not impede the runner, they say, but we did what we had to do to get in the end zone, so it was just a great effort by our team.
Yeah. Tell you what, they scrapped the whole time. They never gave up, I can tell you that. And so that's kind of the highlight package of what we had down in Anderson County for, again, the football game as we, again, talk to Coach Witten and, again, here on the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. So you look at this football team, and, again, get ready for 2018 is not that far away, obviously, but let's give some numbers. Again, Elizabethton all-time 378 wins, 204 defeats, 2 ties. My man to my right here is 96-39, 81-29 in regular season, now 15-10 in the playoffs. And so this football team, again, let's run down some numbers from Friday night. Carter Everett, 19 for 37, 182 yards passing. On the season, 34 passing touchdowns, 37 total TDs. I've got him at 2,828 yards just this season, and so I'm going to try and get his career numbers between now and next Tuesday. Again, Ryan Wetzel, you mentioned another big night, 8 catches, 111 yards. Corey, 23 carries, 91 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 2-yarder, 1-yarder, and a 10-yarder. And so defensively, Cujo steps up, 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a sack. Kilroy, 5 tackles, a fumble recovery, as we saw, and then Wetzel turned around on defense and had 7 tackles himself. So big night for Ryan Wetzel both ways.
Well, we did a good job. You look at the numbers right there, Tom. We did a good job going in and trying to be balanced. 23 carries is the most since Corey had 21 against Greenville. He had 26 against Science Hill. So another big load for him, and 91 yards for him rushing. Then on top of that, we spread the ball out to Ryan Wetzel again, and 37 passing attempts. Obviously, when you fall behind in a playoff game, you got to try to play catch up a little bit. And credit to our guys that never quit. Another great performance by Cujo and Kilroy Hill, and Ryan Wetzel stepped up big for us to replace Evan Perkins at the corner position, and I thought he had one of his best games. And just proud of our kids all year long. They fought extremely hard, and we did a lot of great things. We found ways to win. We became a passing team, and something we always been a good running team and stopping the run. And you just credit Anderson County because they really did a good job of just they had a great game plan. They had a great year all year long, and there's a reason why Mr. Stanton's a Mr. Football finalist.
Yep, Stanton Martin, a football finalist. Here's the numbers from the other night. Anderson County, 528 yards of total offense, 363 passing, 165 rushing. Third down conversions, not that good. They were 4 for 10. Cyclones, total offense, 267 yards. Through the air, 178. Rushing was 89 yards. Third down conversions, we were 3 for 17. So it was their night, was not our night. Sun came up on Saturday morning. Train rolls on. 2018's right around the corner. But before we wrap this thing up, we got 14, 15 young men that we want to pay tribute to. Coach, their freshman year was what, 8-3?
8-3.
Sophomore year they were
10-2.
Junior year they were 11-2, and this year 9-3. So combined, the seniors in 4 years at Elizabethton, what's the record? 38.
38-10.
38-10.
Well, it's an outstanding group. Give credit to a lot of guys. I mean, a majority of the 15 seniors have been in our program for 4 years. I mean, some fascinating young men on and off the field. A lot of classes come through, Tom, and they come and go, but there's very few people that come through that are program changers. And you just read off the list of Mirage Klein and Adam Cornett, Dylan Norby, Ryan Wetzel, Tyson Vance, Nestor Grubb, Cameron Coleman, Joseph Collins, Keelan Hall, Kush Patel, Lucas Hawley, Cameron Harris, Chandler Mullins, Brock Davis, who unfortunately got a season-ending injury before the season, and Stuart Guest, one of our big linemen that ended up breaking his collarbone halfway through the season. But a credit to these guys. Adam Cornett came out his senior year, made a big impact on us. Kush Patel was a very good player for us. It helped us tremendously in practice get better. And then you talk about the guys that really stepped up for us. Lucas Hawley, Cameron Harris were defensive linemen, backup players. This year, senior, they moved over to offensive line and became starters and played a pivotal role for us. Chandler Mullins has been a starter from day one. Cujo's been a starter from day one, played a lot of football for us. Nestor Grubb is as tough as they get. There's no guys that got better work ethics than Joseph Collins and Tyson Vance. So there's some outstanding young people. And then Dylan Norby, here's a guy that was our kicker a year ago. He comes in this year, wants to, play more of a role and help us out. And he did a good job on his kicking and also playing some defensive back. Had a great senior year. And unfortunately for Stuart Guest, one of our big linemen, obviously got hurt right before the Greenville game and didn't get to finish the season. And you feel for those guys senior year. Brock Davis, obviously had a bad injury that missed all this year. So just some great guys. We talked about Keelan Hall and mentioned his name a lot on this show. We're extremely proud of. And the guy, you can run down that list, Ryan Wetzel. Continue to talk about how a guy from one year to the next steps up, play with tremendous confidence. The statistics he put together this year were unbelievable. So definitely going to miss these 15 seniors. Love every one of them, and I know they gave their heart and soul to me and the football program.
Here's something that he does. I didn't know this till this morning, but he told me, and Peyton Manning does this, and Shawn Witten does this. You sit down and write a handwritten letter, and not a copy. I mean, you sit down and write a different letter, handwritten letter, to every senior every year.
Well, it's one of the things I got from Peyton Manning. My brother Jason talked about how he writes a letter to every person gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, and then every guy that retires at the end of the season, and the guys that have long careers. And I just think it's pretty neat that it's not a typed letter. It comes from the heart. And it's a signed personal letter to each one of these kids. And as a coach, a lot of times as a head coach, you get so caught up in the next practice, the next game, the next workout, the next film session. A lot of times as a head coach, you don't get to really express your feelings as much as you like to. And, sometimes as position coaches, you can put your arms around your 4 or 5 guys and you get some individual time in practice, and, you really can, you can take those guys out to eat. But as a head coach, it's hard to take 60 or 70 guys out, at one time. But I just want to let them know how proud I am of them, and hopefully one day they can look back and be proud of their accomplishments and the team's success, and that their efforts don't go unappreciated, and all the work they put in. That it's that we really do. It's gratifying to know that these are some exceptional young men. And now that I'm a little bit older and finished 11 years, I got a young boy that's 4 years old that I can hope he grows up to be anyone like one of these guys. So it's all the work they put in, sacrifice over 4 years, the dedication, the commitment, the desire. They did everything that we asked them to do and more. You appreciate the guys like Cornett. Cornett always made me smile. There was an instant respect among when he came out that he just played 100% every game. And then a lot of these guys you talk about, Joseph Collins played with an injury. Cujo had a surgery a freshman year. Nestor Grubb, the toughness he played with at inside linebacker. All these guys fought through injuries throughout the course of their career, and you just want to let them know how much you appreciate them.
Absolutely. And the other facet I think a lot of folks don't get the proper credit would be the parents, the grandparents, the guardians, whoever's in charge of these young men on a daily basis, that they have given washing uniforms, going to practices, and go right down the line. So I always think that they don't get enough props either, and kudos, because of what they've done to stand behind their kids.
Well, no question. It comes from home first, and they got to be allow us, we got to have some support at home. When we're tough on these young men and they go home and they don't have the best day, the parents got to be the ones that love on them and send them back and say, hey, coach knows what's best. But there's some great families in here, some great people that we're going to miss. Valerie, Cujo's mom does great with us feeding our kids and on Friday pregame meals, and all these parents come and help set up for our pregame meals and all through the years. And it's just some great people. A lot of these moms are on our touchdown club and involved in the everyday aspects of our kids, buying protein shakes, chocolate milks, energy bars and Gatorade bars before the games, and the sandwiches after the games. And so it's a great feeling there. Had the fortune enough to coach Adam Mullins, who's Chandler's brother, so I've got to coach two brothers there. It's pretty awesome feeling there. So it's just so many people that you got to thank, so many. But these kids have put in a lot of time over the last 4 years, and we're definitely going to miss them.
2018, we turn the page now. Of course, there will be a football banquet coming up. 2018, we turn the page and get ready. The schedule next year, you'll just flip-flop. Everything goes home and away.
Everything flip-flops, right? And we're obviously excited about the new bunch we got coming in from the 8th grade class. Obviously, an undefeated class, and anytime they're coached by my brother Ryan and my cooks, Johnny Burleson, Travis Smith, the other guys that bleed orange and black, they're going to be ready to roll. So, we're going to lick our wounds. This is going to motivate us to get in the weight room, and we're looking forward to seeing the new Ryan Wetzels, the new guys that step up. And it's going to be exciting. There's always new challenges. You're going to be a completely new football team, and starting yesterday, guys like Carter Everett, Corey Russell, Evan Perkins, they become seniors now, so they're going to be the ones leading our bunch. And it's always new to create. The biggest thing is, Tom, you love the relationships, appreciate the friendships, and you're going to obviously cherish the memories you have with these young men.
Relationships for a lifetime.
No question. We talk about it all the time. One of my last things I always say for the pregame speech is it's 48 minutes, but it's a lifetime of memories, and you're going to cherish these memories. There's seasons come and go, games come and go, but you always cherish the moments. And just extremely proud of these guys. They laid it on the line each Friday night. They laid it on the line every day in the weight room and in the practice facilities, and summer practice when you're practicing for 3 and 4 hours, and putting up with me, Coach Pierce, Coach Ogg, a lot of those guys. So that's what you really, the letters mean to the guys. It's a heartfelt letter, and it's hopefully that by being in this program, it's a blueprint for their success in the future. And if they learn that it's an opportunity for us to be a small part of their lives, and hopefully when they can look back, they're as proud as their career as we are of ours. And we take a lot of pride in that Elizabethton, and hopefully there's a lot of great seniors here that a lot of the underclassmen are going to miss, because there's some great role models in there as well.
We, on a personal note, want to say thanks. So we got a chance to hang out with this guy right here. I love Shawn Witten and everything he represents, and his family and his grandfather, and of course brothers, and the whole kit and caboodle. But I've also met some cool folks this year doing this show, like Catherine Cusack and Trudy Coball and Amy Bryan and Jennifer Hambrick and Christy Riddle. And of course I met Carter Everett's grandparents over at the Central Ball game, and everybody's been very kind and complimentary of what we're doing. And whole point is to promote the positive side of these student athletes. It ain't about me, it ain't about coach, it's about showcasing these young men who are putting it on the line every day. And so that's what this is all about, and looking forward to working with him in the future. We're going to be doing some Elizabethton Cyclone basketball games coming up, looks like, here on the internet. So this is a cool community. There's some great folks over here, and man, I'll tell you what, Friday night in Elizabethton, it's almost like a Norman Rockwell slice of Americana. It's a big deal, and so very honored to be around the folks, including and especially Shawn Witten. So it won't be long till you be in the weight room or spring practice right around the corner. I guess we'll get in the weight room now, and so it won't be that long until spring practice. And here we go again.
Well, it won't be. Just got to do a good job. We've finished 11 seasons. Coach Ogg, Coach Pierce, and I have been together for a long time, and now you turn the page and look what you can do better. You assess the program and where we've gotten to and what it's going to take to continue to knock down those doors. Different motivation, different leadership skills, and we got some great young men. So we're going to look forward to that, and then we're going to look to see what we can get off of different programs. The successful teams out there, the Greenvilles, the Maryvilles. Obviously Dobbins Bend had a great season this year, so we're going to look and see what we can do better and make our program better and make Friday night a better atmosphere. And obviously what we can do to make the 2018 seniors a greater experience. So we're looking forward to that, and just we turn the page and going to send these seniors out the right way with a great banquet coming up soon, and then we'll get ready for start getting ready for next year.
Love this guy,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and his grandfather and everything this whole family represents. They're an asset to this community, and I hope folks don't take that for granted because the I can say this: the Ryder Witten legacy goes way back deep in the history of this town, this school. So we've got to keep it rolling, and 2018 will be here before you know it. That's going to do it again from this vantage point. We are going to pick back up and continue on because Eddie Pless said, "Can you be interested in come back in here and promoting like basketball and swimming and some of the other winter sports?" And sure, promoting the positive side of student athletes from Elizabethton. So, yep, I know the choir's getting ready to go sing at the Kennedy Center Memorial Day weekend, and that we're going to talk to her and the young lady that leads those and Perry Elliott in the band. So, yeah, we're going to keep doing some different things here. Probably pick back up after the Thanksgiving break. So, be looking for that. But most of all, thanks to this guy right here. And as always, we close things out. We always tell you we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. And as always, to all the folks out there watch this show, like it and share it. We appreciate it very much. Until we meet you and greet you again, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.